What if learning a new language was less about memorizing words and more about getting a key? A key to a completely different way of seeing the world. Well, that's exactly what we're digging into today with the Mandarin language.
This line from our source material it hits the nail on the head. It says Mandarin isn't just a language, it's a gateway. I mean, that's a powerful word, right? So what's behind that gate? What does this key actually unlock? Let's find out.
All right, so let's step through that gateway together. We're going to see just how deeply Mandarin is woven into the very fabric of Chinese culture, shaping pretty much everything from philosophy to everyday social interactions.
Just think about that for a second. A language as a map. It's not just a random collection of words. It's a guide. It literally shows you the cultural landmarks, the social highways, and the deeply held beliefs of the people who speak it. And that's the big idea we're unpacking here.
Okay, so for looking at this map, the first giant landmark you just can't miss is Confucianism. And look, this isn't some dusty ancient history. It's a living, breathing philosophical blueprint that has shaped Chinese society for centuries, and its influence is etched right into the language itself.
So what is it, really? At its heart, Confucianism is a philosophy that puts the group way ahead of the individual. It's a whole system built on respecting your place in the social order and, above all else, keeping the peace. Social harmony is everything.
And here are the big ones, the core values that drive so much. Respect for elders, that's huge. Filial piety, this deep sense of duty to your family. Social harmony, which we just mentioned. And of course, hierarchy, a clear understanding of where everyone fits. These aren't just abstract ideas, they are active principles in daily life.
Now, this is where it gets really cool. You can literally see the chain reaction. You take a core value, like hierarchy. How does that show up? In the language itself. For example, in Mandarin, there are two ways to say you. There's ni, the standard everyday you, but then there's nin, a formal version you have to use to show respect to an elder or a superior. That's hierarchy baked right into a pronoun. And that, in turn, leads to a more indirect way of speaking to keep things harmonious. It's a perfect loop, from value to vocabulary to culture.
All right, that brings us to our next key concept, and it builds directly on everything we've just talked about. This is one of the most important and nuanced parts of Chinese culture, and it's called face.
Now, face, or miànzi, isn't about your physical face, of course. Think of it more like your public image, your reputation, your dignity, your prestige in a social setting. It's this combination of your social standing, your influence, and your honor.
And this is the crucial part. In many interactions, the main goal isn't just to exchange information. It's to make sure that nobody loses face. That means protecting your own reputation, sure, but just as important is helping the other person save their face. It's a powerful, unspoken social contract. This slide gives us a perfect real-world example. In a Western context, just saying no, that won't work, might be seen as being efficient and direct, but in a context where saving face is king, that directness can cause a lot of embarrassment. So instead, you're more likely to hear something like, "This is an interesting idea, but we may face some challenges." Now let's be honest, the meaning is the same. It's a no, but the delivery completely changes the dynamic. It protects everyone's dignity and keeps the relationship harmonious. So we've connected the dots from philosophy to language to social interaction. But let's get to the bottom line. Why is understanding all this so important for anyone learning Mandarin or just engaging with Chinese culture?
Well, it matters because becoming truly fluent, having a real understanding, goes so far beyond just a word-for-word translation. You have to be able to interpret the cultural context that's hiding behind the words. It's about hearing what isn't being said just as much as what is. And when you start to grasp this, the benefits are just massive. You'll be able to appreciate art and philosophy on a completely different level. You can navigate social situations with a lot more grace. And maybe most importantly, you can build genuinely stronger, more respectful relationships, whether that's in your personal life or in your career.
So, let's end on this thought. We've seen how Mandarin is a gateway, but this idea isn't unique. Every single language is a map to a culture. So the final question is really for you. Think about your own language. If it's a gateway, what values, what history, and what culture does it truly reveal?